The Anker F2600. This thing sounds like a fighter jet, but does it perform like one? Let's find out. Welcome back to the lab, guys. Today we're taking a look at the Anker F2600. This is Anker's newest portable power station, and honestly, this thing's a beast. Anker is actually a company that has been around for a long time. They are like the #1 mobile charging brand. They've been making phone cords, power banks, chargers. You guys probably own Anker products and you might not even realize it, but they are kind of relatively new in the solar generator space. And this is actually the first Anker unit that we've got to play with here at the lab, and I had big expectations. Anker's been around for a long time. They're a big company, and I really wanted them to deliver, and boy, did they deliver. And if the rest of the Anker lineup performs like this guy does right here, they are coming for everybody else's lunch. The thing that sticks with me with this guy is it's not cheap. It's actually quite expensive compared to some of the competition. So let's find out if it's worth the money. But first, if you guys are not familiar with all the specs on this thing, we'll jump into a super quick 60-second teardown. This is a 2560 watt-hour unit with a 2400 watt pure sine wave inverter. It's got a decent screen, not my favorite, but not bad. This unit is expandable. It's got a little port right here on the back, and you can put the battery on top, which is another bonus points. And it expands up to 4600 watt hours with that additional battery on top. At 70 pounds, this easily passes the tiny baby lift test. This unit actually has a ton of output plugs as well. You have 3 USB-Cs, 2 USBs, 2 12-volt car plugs, you got a 30-amp plug, and you got 4 regular house outlets. On the back, we have an AC input, so you can charge this thing up through a wall plug in your house, which takes 1.7 hours to fully charge. And of course, you have a solar input as well. This unit has a 1000 watt solar input max, which means it'll charge to 80% in 2 hours. And it does have this really nice suitcase handle on the top of the unit. There's actually a ton I love about this little Anker unit, but I think before we dive into anything else, I want to mention just the attention to detail. Now, weirdly enough, this unit stacks up in many ways to the EcoFlow Delta Pro. My biggest thing I hate about this unit, and I never even really realized how much I hated it until we had this one, was that the handle is on the bottom. You can press the little button to release it, but I always skin my knuckles on the ground trying to grab this handle, and I hate it. And to tie in with that point, EcoFlow actually advertises this unit like this a lot. But when you flip it up, you're actually just resting it on a very hard piece of plastic right here. I mean, EcoFlow sends you these little leather cover things. I don't like it. It's gonna scratch, it's gonna crack. So the point I'm trying to get to is not only did Anker almost pretend like they asked me where I'd prefer the handle, there's no hand jamming, this is just an ideal place for the handle. They also put a lot of time into the little features, like the little rubber feet on the back here. So this unit is also meant to be stood up, but Anker actually puts little rubber feet right here, so when you stand it up, it has grip and you're not wearing out just a piece of raw plastic. And oh, I don't know, maybe the fact that Anker thought about the placement of the plugs. This is the first time I've ever seen this on a solar generator. The bottom row of plugs is ground down. The top row of plugs is ground up, because not all things that plug in are equal. They don't even do this on a house. Plugs aren't even like this, dude. This is actual thought put into a unit that's actually gonna help improve your life and make it more useful. There's even a magnet on the back door, so it clicks closed and stays closed. The F2600 is also relatively quiet. It doesn't make a whole lot of noise. We got it to scream under a full 2400 watt load, but even that wasn't terrible. And because Anker is Anker, they include all of the technologies that they've been patenting over the years, like the IQ ports and the GaN Prime. And both of those things really just come down to efficiency. The technologies that are putting in the work use less of the power and are able to give more power to those devices that you might be running. But aside from the attention to detail on the little things, this, for a relatively small unit, has some pretty big balls. I really like that there's a 30-amp plug on the front. That's extremely useful. Something that also made me super happy is it came with a solar panel input splitter thing. Is that what you would call this? That's what I would call this. This is a really cool feature. Most units usually come with one plug on the back, and if you buy a panel, that panel comes with a plug that plugs in. If you want a splitter or you want to add more panels, you normally have to order an additional splitter. This unit just came straight out of the box with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inlets, and you can put up to 1000 watts of solar. So these are meant for 5 200 watt panels. Another just like solid thing that came out of this unit, I think the biggest talking point about this unit is just the size of it. It is a very weird and almost perfect size. I personally use a Jackery 1000 when I go camping, overlanding. I like it. I keep it at home in case the power goes out. A Delta Pro is like a beast. It's super heavy. You use it mainly for home backup. If you're taking it camping, you're a psycho. This is light enough and small enough, weirdly, when you compare it in size to a Jackery, that I actually almost wish I had this. It's double the power. It has way more output options. It's got wheels and a sweet little handlebar. And it honestly just smashes this category of like crossing over from your camping overlanding niche into a home backup, but not quite. Now, flipping back to the most controversial thing with this big unibrow light, I love the light. I think the color is actually really nice. It's warm. It's not like super bright and ugly. And it's big. It's bright. When you want to see something, you can see it. I was also pleasantly surprised by the app. Anker actually really did a good job of simplifying, yet including everything you need on this app. I really like the little Anker guy at the top. It's extremely responsive. You can see right here, like instantly as I turn the light on and off, it responds, which is nice. There's no lag time. Of course, you can power all your inverters from here, turn them all on, turn them all off. This unit, you go on the app and you can actually pick an exact number of how many watts that you want to input into this device at one time. You can also control the screen timeout, which, haha, I'm gonna do right now because I hate that it's been preset to 30 seconds this whole time, and I never saw that feature, and it's been driving me insane. And I guess that cycles us perfectly into a few things I wish were just a little different with the Anker F2600 fighter jet. Starting with the screen. Is it not on? I just said out loud, I'm gonna increase the time it's on. The screen is actually pretty nice. It's super simple. I like the little unique kind of like battery ring around the percentage. I just wish it always showed you input and output. I don't know why, but I just like looking at the unit and knowing, okay, everything's off by looking at the screen. I guess if you look at it and it's not there, it's off, but it just makes me feel better to see the input and the output always on the screen. And like I said, I wish the solar input was a little bit higher, but otherwise, overall, I don't really have anything I would change about this. There's more pros than cons for sure. So is this unit for you, and should you buy it? Honestly, I wish it was easier for me to say. This unit is jammed in such a weird category where it does so much, but it compares really weirdly to the market. For example, you could buy an EcoFlow Delta Pro for $25.99. That thing has 3,600 watts of power. It's got a similarly sized inverter, and it's a lot of a bigger unit, but it's only like $400 more than this, which puts this in a weird spot. I really think the Delta Pro is more for home backup. Like I really wouldn't try to take that camping. It's just too big and too bulky and too heavy. You could try to compare it to a Jackery 2000, which stacks up really well, and it is also a couple $100 cheaper. And with the size of this thing, it's complete overkill to power even our Iceco fridge. The Jackery 1000 powers this guy for like almost 5 days when camping. So this unit, you could power the fridge and you could just absolutely crush the load with other things, phones, tools, grills, whatever stupid things you decide to take camping with you, and you would still have battery when you get back home. I would stay shopping Anker even if you do go down the lineup. The wheels, the handle, all that kind of jazz. Anker's absolutely smashed it. So if you come down the fighter jet lineup to the F2000, it has all the same features. It's a 2000 watt battery, so it's a little bit smaller, but it's $600 less than this unit is right here. Honestly, if you had to ask me right now, ever since I've unboxed this, I've thought, shit, I really wish I bought one of these over my Jackery. And that's kind of what I think I'll leave you guys with. I think build quality, features wise, all that kind of stuff, the Anker units are crushing it. Honestly, I'd go for the little brother of this, get the F2000. If you're watching this and the F2000 is no longer available, then scoop this. Scoop it. As someone who's hands-on and used this unit, it might be a weird price. You might feel like there's better bang for your buck. You might want to do research for 7 more years before you decide to pull the trigger. Pull it. Get this thing. You won't regret it once you have it. If you're trying to bundle this though, things get kind of interesting. You buy it with panels and all that kind of stuff. We have links down below in the description. This video is not sponsored at all. I would look at something like Shop Solar. They actually have a really, really wicked deal on their website. They just bundle all the best components into a kit and they sell you that kit. And in their case, they cut out the expensive Anker panels, put in another brand's panels, and the kit is extremely cheaper than the one you get on Anker's website. Let me know what you guys think. Would you buy this? Would you rather just save your money and buy something else? Do you love this big unibrow? I love the big unibrow. That is all I got for you guys. Make sure you guys are subscribed so you don't miss any of the new content. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out and stay charged.